Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, I'm doing some kind of catching up on some odds and ends that I should have done a while ago, but just never did. Um, I've been meaning to play my speech from the Ark Encounter, and I haven't done it yet. Partly because I've had guests scheduled for quite a while, and I didn't want to make my guests wait. But Jenny and Mage are both very patient and are willing to sit through and wait for the speech. And so I'm going to go ahead and play all of that speech. And if I do want to let you know that toward the end, I made a major mistake, and that is at the last minute, I decided to add in doing the song that I wrote, Jesus Drowned the Little Children, specifically because I wrote it, for Ark Encounter. And I know that I'm not that good of a singer. I'm a good backup singer, but I am not a lead singer because I can stray from the pitch a bit. And so I always sing better when I have a lead singer next to me that I can tune myself to. And a previous speaker, which happened to be Dr. Jay Bundy, during his speech said that he used to be a music minister. And so I thought, oh, cool. I'll just ask him to help keep me on tune because everybody knows Jesus loves me. And I wanted to sneak over to him and ask him before I went up there, but the way everything was set up, I could not get over to where he was. So at the end of the speech, unbeknownst to him, I asked him to come up and help me, and he didn't know the words, and I didn't think that would be a big deal, but it actually was. So the song at the end is a bit messed up, but the rest of the speech is pretty good. Okay, we begin with Chris Mallard giving it an introduction.
You are. Come. There's a steps up over here. Watch out. Come all the way around. Or you can step over. There you go. You're adventuresome. All right. Get up here, you wonderful thing. Thank you very much. Here is Miss Kelly. There you go. Thank you. If you need anything, holler.
I have come here to tell you that you matter. What you do here matters. And it is because of you that I am here. That banner was the beginning of the end of my faith.
The banner that I'm referring to, I pointed to it, but the camera wasn't in a position where it could swivel to it. But it's a banner that was put up by the free thinkers, the tri-state free thinkers, that said genocide and incest park.
Whoever made that banner is responsible for me being an atheist, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Let me tell you my story. I was born to an Irish Catholic family, and when I was 7, my parents had been married for 8 years and had 4 children, and they knew that there were plenty more coming if they didn't do something. And at that time, the Catholic Church said all forms of birth control were forbidden. So my parents chucked the Catholic Church. And I was raised secular. I was not raised to believe all this stuff. But when I was 16, I had an existential crisis. And I had no idea that that's what it was or who to reach out to for help. But this was in the late 70s. And at that time, there was a movement called the I Found It movement, which was speared by Billy Graham. And a young man in my English class was converted by that movement. And he told me about his faith, which I wanted nothing to do with at the beginning, until he told me that I had no purpose or meaning in my life, but I could have it if I believed in his God. I had just recently tried to kill myself, and nobody knew that. Nobody. To this day, my family does not know that when I was 16, I tried to kill myself. And so, yeah, Purple knows. And there's several people among here that know, but my family does not know. And so when this young man told me that I could have purpose and meaning in my life if I believed in his God, I believed it, hook, line, and sinker. And one of the things that these people showed me was a chick track called Big Daddy. And Big Daddy taught me young earth creationism. And I bought it, hook, line, and sinker. But it wasn't you people that taught me that young earth creationism was wrong. That actually was the Shed Aquarium. I took my kids to the Shed Aquarium and I saw lungfish. One of the things that I was taught from this booklet was that fish cannot grow lungs and crawl out of the water. And yet there they were, swimming right in front of me, fish with lungs. The young earth creationists made the mistake of making a falsifiable claim, and I saw it was false. Go to 1984. 1984 was the worst year of my life. I had a stillborn child, and it wasn't that far from here. It was at Fort Knox, Kentucky. And that experience caused me to deconstruct my faith and think very hard about what kind of a God would do this. But I came away from that experience after reading the book, What to Do when Trusting God When Life Hurts. And I came away from that believing that because the Bible is the complete, inerrant Word of God, that I would trust it no matter what, even if that meant God was going to take my child. Yeah, that's how messed up I was. And I continued with that for another 30 years. I was a strong believer for 42 years. But then in 2019, the end came. It began when my son told me, Mom, Noah's Ark didn't happen. For one thing, the poop on the boat would have destroyed all of the animals. Now, at that time, my son was 18 years old, and parents don't listen to kids that much. But you might think we don't, but we really do. What I did was I waited till he left the room, and then I Googled it. I found 3 websites that all told me that my son was right. So I started thinking about this. The next day, I was reading in my Bible and thinking about the conversion of the Apostle Paul. And suddenly I realized, wait a minute. Why did God personally appear to Paul and call him? Is God not capable of doing that for everyone? Well, of course, he's all powerful. Does he not know what everyone needs to know in order to believe in him? Well, of course, he's all knowing. So why Paul? And why not everybody? Well, because God wanted Paul. And suddenly the thought came to me, well, does that mean that God doesn't want everybody? That's not what the Bible says. And I entered some cognitive dissonance. 2 weeks later, my son showed me a video of the 2019 ARC protest. And the first thing I remember seeing in that video was that banner right there. And that banner made me angry. I said, the Noah story is not about Yeah, it is about genocide, isn't it? Well, there's no incest. Yeah, there is incest in that story. So I started watching and I thought, well, I'm going to show these these atheists why they're wrong. And so I started listening very intently to the rest of the video. And the next thing I heard was Aaron Ra. And he was yelling at a man and he was telling him, we don't just know that the ark couldn't happen. We know that it didn't happen. And we know that from biology. Now, I had no idea what he was talking about at that point. I didn't know Jay. I didn't know any evolutionary biologists. I did not know enough biology to understand what he meant. He said, we know that from geology. Do we have any geologists here? Okay. Well, I knew even less about geology than I did about biology. Then he said, we know that from history. I did know about history. And suddenly I realized that not only did I know that the flood never happened, I had always known that. Because never in a history course did a professor or teacher ever say that all of the people were wiped out and the civilization was gone. And then 200 years later, a group of Babylonians wandered in and started a new society here. That didn't happen. That isn't what the archaeologist shows us. And so suddenly, in just that one moment, a connection was made in my brain between what I knew about the Bible and what I knew about history. And I thought, God damn it, he's right. The flood didn't happen. The Bible is not inerrant. And that crashed the foundation and the only thing that upheld my faith. And in one moment, I became an atheist. And so I want to thank all of you for what you do here. As Godless Engineer told you, and as Ember told you, and as Jay told you, what you are doing here is even more important now than ever, because our government is trying to take this away from us. And I wrote a little song about Ark Encounter, and some of you know that song. Jay, would you mind coming up here and help keeping me on tune? We're just going to sing Jesus Loves the Little Children. And I'm not very good at staying on tune. I will change keys. But, well, you said you used to be a music minister. Mandisa's a singer? Okay, Mandisa. Who's a good singer? I just need someone to keep me in tune. But okay, we're going to sing Jesus Loves the Little Children, except it's Jesus drowned the little children. Red and yellow, black and white, they were evil in his sight. Ready? Here we go. Jesus drowned the little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white, they were evil in his sight. So Jesus drowned the little children of the world.
And all the puppies.
Live your life.
Okay. That was my speech at Ark Encounter. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That was a lot of fun to do. And like I said, I should have talked to Jay before I did that. I should have thought of singing that song earlier.
Well, I'm disappointed that you're imperfect, just like the rest of us. How dare you, God?
I'm sorry. I'm keeping up with the comments, and I'm trying to read them. And for some reason, there was someone who asked me about mud skippers, because when I brought up lungfish, they asked mud skippers. I said, yeah, I had never heard of mud skippers yet. I never heard of mud skippers till I started watching Vice Rhino.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. And Bobby Boy also said, looked it up. They think the first land creatures were were amphibious, like mud skippers. Clement says,
Something
I
along
like
those
the imperfect cadence. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think the first land animals were atheists. In fact, I'm positive they didn't believe in God.
It's interesting enough. The first structures for feet developed while they were still in the water.
Okay. I've also got a couple of videos from the No Kings rally here in Huntsville, Alabama. And I was impressed with how many people came out, only because this is a deep red state. Although I also realized that the particular area, Huntsville, tends to be more purple than red. I think the videos are a tad boring because all I was doing was videoing as I walked down the street, pretty much to show people just to show how many people were there and how big this was. So if people feel like that's enough, this is boring, just put the comment enough in the comments, and I'll turn it off. Okay. I thought that was the long one. Okay. Yeah, this is the longer one. When I walked out, I actually did not even walk all the way to the end.
Thank you so much for the
And you can see how deep the people are on the street on this side. They're not as deep on the other side of the street, but there's people on the other side of the street too.
Is that the same one that
I don't know.
I'm still looking for the terrorist frogs.
There was one. We saw one. I only saw a couple of frogs.
Yeah, we only saw terrorist dinosaurs.
I saw a lot of dinosaurs. The third video I have for you is fairly short, and it was primarily to video one person in a costume. And I did it primarily to send advice for I know what they did and who I This was the other thing that really surprised me, was the number of people who honked in solidarity with us that came by.
Yeah, I made sure I did that, go drive by, since I couldn't actually be in the protest myself this time.
Yeah, and there were a lot of people driving by that hung up signs that said no tourists or something to that effect. That large building in the distance is the hospital. That's how far we go. We go down to the hospital. The rally in our city focused more on science, and they specifically asked people to dress up as doctors and nurses, and no quacks was a big focus on this one.
No quacks. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, and here's the third one. I wanted to get this because I thought that looked like the unicorn, Gary.
Unicorns do exist.
Oh, good, thank you.
Okay, and then I've got two still shots that I wanted to show you. This one, I thought this was a cute sign, Reapers Against Healthcare. And I liked this sign here. You can't see it very well. It took me a while to even get a picture of it because he mostly had it turned away from me. But it says, elect a rapist, plan to get fucked. Okay, so that's what I had queued up for us. The rest of the show, I thought we'd just cover whatever anybody wants to talk about. There is a link pinned in the chat if anybody in the chat wants to come and join us. So Jenny, you are now God's favorite, and we are to worship you.
Yes,
So how
absolutely.
did that come about?
Well, I was brushing my teeth this morning, and I had this little tickle in the back of my throat, and I opened my mouth, and there was God. Okay,
Oh.
I mean, just in my mouth and talking to me, telling me that I'm the number one, and I'm his favorite. And that I should just start expecting people to worship me because he said so. So come on, you folks. I tithing is okay, but I want tithing and a half. Okay.
Holy, holy is Jenny. Holy, holy is Jenny. Okay, very good. Very good.
You can just send it to my PayPal account.
Okay, sounds good. Mage, what's up with you?
Oh, I've just been trying to work on stuff for my show here, and uh, going over some garbage on Charlie Kirk's thing.
Mm,
I watched some of the Rationality Rules has been doing some good videos on him.
he did. He did. I actually was strongly considering asking my daughter if I could recommend one of his videos to my granddaughter, specifically the one where he critiqued the debate between him and the feminist. Because one, it had nothing to do with atheism, so my daughter wouldn't object on those grounds. And two, my granddaughter does debate, and she's in junior high. Her debate team was undefeated until the finals. They lost the very last round and ended up in second place. But anyway, I thought she would appreciate the critique, even though it's a different style of debate. But unfortunately, as I was considering whether or not to send it to her, Charlie Kirk got assassinated, and I thought, well, now I'm not going to ask. That
Yeah,
changes everything.
that became quite a hot topic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, he was pretty much Jesus in street clothes, wasn't he?
You think by the way they act.
One of the things I really appreciated about the most recent video that Rationality Rules did, critiquing a debate with Charlie Kirk, was the atheist got had. He completely got had. And Stephen points out where he went wrong, what mistakes he made, that where he turned over the debate to Charlie Kirk and ended up on his terms instead of his own terms. And I appreciated that.
That would be a good one to watch.
Mm-hmm.
See, the last one I watched was titled "How Charlie Kirk Always Owned the Libs."
That's
Oh,
that's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was actually focused more on all the underhanded tactics he uses on that.
Yes.
How it highlighted that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that particular guy could have really owned Charlie if he had been a more astute debater, because he started out by pointing out how Kirk was a complete imposter in one respect, that he had someone going through the people and gathering information for him.
Charlie Kirk's an imposter? What? God damn. I heard it was unnamed in the blurb I read that some Republican in the Congress is recommending that we put Charlie on money of some sort.
Yeah, coin.
I did see in my feed for YouTube this morning an offer for Charlie Kirk silver coins. Now they're obviously commemorative coins, not actual money, but yeah, I did see that already.
Oh well, they can do as many commemoratives as they want.
Yeah, that's
right.
Fine.
Right.
Whatever.
Those are easier to melt down, anyways.
Yep. But yeah, I sure hope they don't try to put him on money. That would be absolutely ridiculous.
It really just bothers the hell out of me even to think about something like that. I mean, other than Mercury and the Indian Head, have there ever been any non-presidents on our money?
Hamilton.
Oh, that's right. He was not president, was he? Mm-hmm. He was just that banker dude.
and Benjamin Franklin.
Oh, well, he was, but yeah, he has a special place.
Yeah, he was definitely a founding father, but he was never a president. Yeah,
and he was so good at getting it on the side, and he should be respected and honored by Americans.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Susan B. Anthony.
Oh, that's right. Well, I guess I think I'll amend my sentence to we've had lots of different people on our coins.
We've had a few people, but
no assholes like Charlie Kirk.
Right. Mm-hmm. We might as well just put a horse's rear end on it and be the same thing.
Or Adolf Hitler.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay, Clement Green brought this up, and I kind of like to talk about it. So the ballroom is for his, yeah,
Ball.
yeah.
I heard a very interesting video today.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't take notes, and so I'm not going to be able to write down all these figures or quote them all. But basically, a woman had a discussion with a good friend of hers who's a commercial architect type dude, and he went down some of the numbers of standard building construction.
Mm-hmm.
Now this place is supposed to be 90,000 square feet. 90,000 square feet? Are you kidding? When I had my shop was like 1,500 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I always lusted for that place across the street because it was 10,000 square feet, and it was just, I could fit 10 cars in there at a time and all this kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm trying to imagine this building 9 times that size. Well, this guy whipped out the architectural knowledge and says, that would be about the size of a football field.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Now, where do we need a ballroom for a football field?
Mm-hmm.
He says, when you try to decide how big a building should be, and you look at its purpose, and as a ballroom, they would for 1,000 people that they want, you basically assign each person 20 square feet. So that would make it 20,000 square feet for a ballroom. Okay. Then he says, now even if we're generous and we add another 20,000 for, the prep where the kitchen sets up and all the catering goes on and all that kind of shit. And now we have a 40,000 square foot building. He says, there's no way that can cost $300 million.
Oh, okay.
Okay. He says, extravagant, it just out of this world extravagant construction cost for that would be about 3,300 something dollars per square foot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He says he's never heard of a building that costs more than like I think he said 700, 1,000 per square foot, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's for like super extravagant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I hear this other thing that's going on, that somebody has come forth that has seen plans or talked about plans or has some inside knowledge, whatever, that they're building a bunker under it. Okay. Explosion proof, invade proof,
Well,
death
they
proof.
have a bunker at the White House.
Well, they're talking another one, apparently. You know who else built a bunker under a ballroom?
Hitler?
Yeah. So I wanted to know if it was going to have a specifically purposed suicide room.
I don't know, but you know what I think? I think that's exactly where Trump is going to be after the election, is in that bunker.
Yep, I think so too.
Because he's not going to want to leave.
Well, Steve Bannon was on a show just a few days ago, specifically said, and I'm going to have to paraphrase because I don't remember exact quotes. He is going to run. There's a way to do it. We have figured out a plan. We have a plan. He is going to be president in 2028.
He can't do it legally. He can't do it without changing the Constitution, and there's no way he can change the Constitution.
Well, yeah, but he can't ignore it.
That's true. He can. And what he's got to do in order to ignore it is have the military on his side. And that I don't think he can do.
He's already getting him against him.
Yeah, he has really ticked off the military, especially the top brass.
Yeah, but I hear people in the military saying that if you do casual surveys of the guys on the front line, that only about 40% of them think that would be a swell idea for him to continue being president.
I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I think he's going to try, but I think it's going to succeed as much as his plan to walk down to the Capitol and to nullify the election where he lost in 2020. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. You know, his people are going to tell him, no, you can't do this, and whisk him away.
I don't
hope
know.
so.
I don't know. That would be pretty messy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, right now I wouldn't put anything past the guy.
No, I wouldn't either. But I also don't think he's going to be successful. He hasn't been successful in a lot of things that he's doing. He thinks he is, but he really isn't.
Yeah.
But
Well,
unfortunately, he has been successful in a lot of ways that have been really damaging to this country.
you mean like giving $40 billion to Argentina?
Yeah, like that.
You mean like starving out the farmers and the
Yeah.
rest of the citizens too?
Yep, and letting them starve out the Palestinians. And hey, Mo, haven't seen you in a while. Welcome.
I saw another little video that pissed me off to no end. There was some Middle Eastern Israeli guy. I don't know who exactly what he was, but next to him was Jared. Don't call me a criminal yet. Whatever his last name is. Who's now, I guess, our ambassador to Israel, I think. Anyways, they were talking about this plan they have for Gaza.
Yeah.
And we all heard rumors about this when October 7th first happened there.
Mm-hmm.
That they've got some big glorious plan to turn it into a tourist community, and all this front lake or oceanfront property and all this kind of stuff. And everybody said, well, that's certainly possible, but nobody really took it seriously.
Oh,
well,
I did.
These two are talking all about this plan that they've been working on for 2 years.
Yeah.
That is going to just
Trump announced it
completely
as soon as he
remake
got
the
elected.
whole area.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He was going to get rid of all of the Palestinians. Now he claimed that he wasn't.
Yep.
He wasn't going to get rid of the Palestinians.
Yeah.
He was going to rebuild it to make it nice for them.
They flattened the place with bombs because it was cheaper than hiring a contractor.
Right. Exactly.
And now they just got to clear the mess and build the hotels.
I think they're just going to push them all into Egypt.
Or try, at least the ones that you don't kill.
Yeah, Egypt's not real up on that idea.
No, they aren't.
What a lovely fucked up world we have.
Yes, we do.
Thank you, Donnie Trump. You really just turned this into one gigantic circus of idiocy.
Yeah, you know that.
All right. Go ahead, Mage.
Yeah, the thing on Back to the Future 2 where they had the dystopian in the 1980s with Biff as being rich. That older Biff was based on Trump, and it looks like well.
I was going to suggest that we kind of return the favor of what the Canadians are doing. You see, the Canadians have this ceremony where once a year they channel all of their rage into the Canadian geese, and then the geese migrate south for the winter, and it takes all the Canadian rage, and that's why Canadian people are such nice people. We need to channel all of our stupid into a migratory species that will take all of our stupid away and take it somewhere else.
Oh, I know. Lemmings.
Lemmings. Oh, perfect.
No.
Perfect.
You have to actually push them over the edge to get them to...
God damn. There's groups of people online right now who started spewing their ideas a little bit before October 18th, before the No Kings rally. And I have to say first off that I love the idea. I think it's absolutely what we should do. I just don't think it's being very well planned, and definitely not planned enough in advance. And what everybody's suggesting is that November 28th, which I believe is Black Friday, everybody absolutely shut down, not go anywhere, not do anything, not spend a dime, and just absolutely and not go to work, and just strike the fuck out of this country and teach the billionaires, no, you are not in charge, we are.
So basically, what I usually do on Black Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Because
never shop on Black Friday either.
that's what's going on is the billionaires before the election were making videos explaining how we need to retrain the American public and to get them to understand that they, the billionaires, are in charge. And they're going to do that by making things difficult, to make things expensive, to make people starve, and for them, and hopefully that at the end of it they will realize that we belong to them, that they are the boss and we will do what they say.
Well, they tried that once before and it didn't work.
Well, they're trying it again.
Yeah.
And it's working.
And it'll work in the short term. But in the long term, when people are hungry enough, they will rise up.
Well, that's the thing. I even started making a couple of memes about it, just to get people to open up and realize that no, these fuckers are trying to do this, and we are the power in this country.
Right.
They have not a dime if we don't give it to them.
Right. Exactly.
And we just kind of got to get it together and maybe inflict some of our own pain on ourselves.
That was one of the things that I learned in, I can't remember which presidential election it was. It was either Trump versus Hillary or Trump versus, or else it was, I don't remember. But anyway, it was one of the recent presidential elections. One of the candidates that jumped in was a billionaire. And I thought he was going to sweep the election just by outspending everyone. And I was pleasantly surprised that you cannot buy an American election. I thought you could.
Yeah. In most cases, it's usually the guy with the most, or the person with the most money. But sometimes it's not.
Do you remember which election that was, Jenny? That's okay. He was kind of a flash in the pan. He didn't stay around long. He jumped in during the primaries, and he didn't even make it out through to the end of the primaries.
Well, Mitt Romney.
No, it wasn't Mitt Romney. It was. I think it was someone from New York. Hey, Purple. Purple is here.
There was a guy from Utah, a rich guy, but I thought he actually was more liberal than the rest. I'm just not sure. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Purple, if you want to join the stream, there's a link pinned in the chat if you want to come in, and if you don't, that's fine too. Oh, here we go. Wait, there's Purple. Climate Green. Ross Perot. That's who I was trying to think of, was Ross Perot.
Ross Perot.
Oh God, that's a lifetime ago. That was 1986.
Okay, I have a hard time with time these
84?
days. It was funny. I bought some new carpet for my bedroom recently, and when I was signing the papers, I went to sign the year, and I went, "Is it really 1925? I mean 2025?" And I could not remember. I was just stunned. It can't be 2025, is it? Yeah, I do that. I have a hard time remembering what year it is.
I've had that problem.
I think it's kind of more like 1925.
I still feel like I'm stuck in the 2000s.
Yeah, I sometimes feel like I'm stuck in the 1990s.
I hate the fact that one of the side notes to this whole push, people are focused on the power and the economics of this push and some of the reduced freedoms, but they're ignoring the nuances of this. There's a movement to ban pornography. Okay, well, I understand why people would want that, but I think for well, I don't have numbers. My general vibe is that most of the people involved in pornography who are adults are doing it by choice because they make money at it and feel
Mhm.
that they have control over their own choices in it.
Mhm.
At least the higher end pros do. Um, and so I'm not that bothered by pornography. I don't want to watch it. If the people involved in it are into it, then that's fine. But what goes along with that is they're also trying to redefine LGBTQIA and their allies as sexual offenders.
Yep.
Oh,
And that
really?
everybody, yes, and that everybody who falls into those um, definitions can go to prison.
I would
Uh,
like to see how it is possible to be a sex offender for being asexual.
Well, in a dictatorship, it's easy. They just say it's true and do it. And that's what we have here.
Yeah, but in your court system, you do have to at least show that you have done something.
Show me
You can't think your way into a crime. There's no such thing as thought crime.
show me one
yeah.
thing that the courts recently have absolutely incontrovertibly um, um, said no, and it's absolute that they can't. And Trump said, "Okay, I'm sorry, I backed off. I won't do that." No, he goes out and does it anyways.
Well, and
Mhm.
look at what's happening with the deportation. People are getting sent to, prisons in horrible places without ever having a court date.
Mhm.
There have been people who've been arrested for flag burning just based on that executive order, which does not supersede the Constitution
Yep.
in the
And
court ruling.
Deportation is different though, because people who are in the country illegally do not have the same rights as citizens. They don't actually have a right to a date in court. We've typically given them a court date, but if you've watched John Oliver talk about what deportation hearings are usually like, they're often done in mass, where they'll bring a whole mass of people in, and the judge will just say deported. And they don't hear the individual cases. The only time an individual gets heard from is if they have their own attorney.
From my understanding, they're not even doing that much, though.
Right, you're right. They're not even doing that much anymore. But they aren't owed that either. But those of us
I
who are citizens are owed a day in court.
I thought the Constitution says that any person, it does not say citizen in the
Yeah.
country, it says person in the country is owed the right of due process. Habeas corpus applies. Now you're the lawyer, you know this shit better than I do, but that ain't
I'd have to go read the exact wording again.
And exactly how would you know if the person is here illegally if you don't give them due process?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's
Yeah.
what worries me is the possibility of them starting to deport citizens.
Well, they already
Particularly,
have.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Although it's still very rare, that kid that they deported, they claimed that they had the mother's consent.
Why? What?
Yeah. But
Well, they were deporting the mother, and they claimed that the mother wanted the kid to come with her.
Well, yeah,
And it's possible. I don't know.
no.
If I was being deported, yeah, I think I'd want to take my kid with me.
Yeah. There was that case early on. I forget the guy's name, that he got sent down to El Salvador. And
Yeah.
there was that whole incident about Trump not wanting to bring him back.
Mm-hmm.
He is back now, and he
Right.
is also suing ICE now.
Yeah, well, that's going to have to go on without him because they're sending him. They're talking about sending him to that prison in some tiny little country in Africa that has an abysmal records of human rights.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because they're just foreigners.
Yeah, I had been hearing from a couple of places that it is everyone within the U.S. borders, has the habeas corpus. Although I'm not quite sure, about any of them exactly how well versed in the law they were.
And speaking of not necessarily being well versed in law, I hear Kim Kardashian is saying, well, she's going to, she's waiting for the results of her bar exam. She took the bar without going to law school.
That doesn't surprise me. There's a number of people that have done that.
Well, she's convinced she's going to pass.
She might. I don't know. It depends on, how much she may have studied it on her own, and she may have done very well, especially if she took a Barbary course. After you finish law school, you take bar review, and the bar review specifically preps you for the bar exam, and it's focused entirely on the bar exam questions, and I think it's entirely possible to pass the bar exam without going to law school.
My God, Kim Kardashian! Oh yeah.
I don't think any law firm would hire her.
Well, supposedly her stated interest is in human rights issues, and these do-gooder, rich person do-gooder things. Not actual. Well, it is law, but not actual having clients and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If she wants to do that, more power to her.
Yeah, that actually sounds like she's doing something positive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I heard something on a stream the other day to completely change the topic that surprised me, which was that the successorship for Ark Encounter is back in flux. That they hired Jason Isles, or was it Jason Isles, or but anyway, they hired Isles to come and be Ken's successor, but he has changed his mind and has gone on to do other things, and that right now Ken Ham has no successor in the wings ready to take over the reins of Ark Encounter.
Oh, what a terrible loss that would be if we can't find any successor to that.
Well, Brody was expecting to get it, and since he didn't, he went off and started his own ministry.
I'm sorry, who did?
Brody Hodge.
Right. Yeah, he did. But yeah, Bodie is gone too. And one thing that's really interesting is they must have had some kind of falling out that involved either a moral issue or a doctrinal issue, because unlike most people who have left the ministry, most people that have left the ministry, they left all of their things up, and so you can still read all of their articles and whatsoever. But when Bodie left, they took down everything. Anything that Bodie ever wrote, anything that Bodie ever posted, it's all gone.
I don't think it was a moral thing. I think it's just because he started his own ministry and Ken Ham is petty.
But other people have left and started their own ministries, and that didn't happen to them. Or it's possible that Bodie claimed ownership of them. It's possible that Bodie said, "This is my work. I'm taking it with me." I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a lovers' quarrel? Is that what happened?
Yep. Ken Ham got rid of his own son-in-law.
All right. Well, that sounds Christian to me. Now, we got off Kim Kardashian just a few moments before I was done with her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jenny.
Oh, no, that's quite all right. I was just wondering that if she's going to be a lawyer and she's if she's going to do this human rights stuff, at some point she's going to be in a courtroom. I'm wondering if she's going to wear her newly introduced thong panties with a bush on the front.
Yes, she is trying to bring the merkin back.
Infidel says, Ham getting rid of ham? Something doesn't sound kosher. Oh, and Paula Gier did a stream or did a video last week about the last ham and egg news. Well, they call it Answers News. Obviously, he calls his ham and egg news.
Yeah.
But they called theirs Answers News. But they did announce that Answers News will be no more. So they're getting rid of that.
Yay!
Mhm.
I'm unfamiliar. What is this?
Answers in Genesis did a bi-weekly broadcast from a studio right inside Ark Encounter where they had a live audience, and they would read news articles and they would comment on them and talk about how wonderful they were or how wrong they were about science or whatever, but giving their own spin on everything. And this was a program. It started with Georgia Purdom, Bodie Hodge, and Ken Ham. And then eventually they moved to their B team, and other people came and went, and now it will be no more.
Is this like Answers in Genesis?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, basically they kept trying to debunk real scientists with the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Which is ridiculous because the Bible is such a great scientific document.
Right. It thinks the earth is flat and has a dome over it.
Why doesn't somebody ever take the time when they read that part and get to the word firmament to look that word up and see that it doesn't mean a dome, it means an expanse. Just the opposite. Oy.
One of the things that really shocked me was when I was looking to find out what the Answers in Genesis believed about the dome, was they actually believe that there is a dome. Although instead of covering the earth, they think it covers the whole universe.
Oh.
And that at the edges of the universe that there's this dome, and you could open the windows of heaven, through that dome. And I brought this up to an astronomer that was on my show, and she said that was impossible. If there was a dome at the edge of the earth or at the edge of the universe, we'd be able to see it.
Well, they're sort of right. It's actually a sphere enclosing this entire solar system because the Galactic Alliance doesn't think we're ready for open contact yet.
Ah, okay. So it's the aliens that have put a sphere around our solar system. Okay.
We're in quarantine until we stop killing each other.
That makes sense.
You spend too much time with the Vulcans, Purple.
Well, no, it's if we kill people who look just like us, how can any other sentient species feel safe coming here?
Good point.
Oh, I see. Just look at this thing. Somebody's going on about Adam and Eve, and how Eve was taken from the rib, and she's trying to shoehorn science into this whole process, and basically get into the whole thing of flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone, yada yada. So my response to that is, okay, so when God told Adam to be fruitful and multiply, he was really telling him to go fuck himself.
Well, and there's a whole assembly of logical steps and features of this argument. If Eve came from Adam's rib, then her genetic composition would be the same as Adam's.
In fact, that
which means that she would be a man.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, this person who was saying this actually specifically ended this whole thing with that same genetic makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
and so what that would mean is that since we all know Eve to have maybe given birth and stuff like this, it would absolutely prove that Eve was a trans woman.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No question.
I have heard an interesting interpretation of that when they say Eve was made from one of Adam's ribs, that some people have said it was actually the Adam's baculum, which is the penis bone, because many mammals have this, but humans don't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, that would explain all that limp stuff.
Well, maybe Eve had Sawyer syndrome.
What syndrome?
Well,
Sawyer syndrome.
the woman has an XY chromosomes, but they develop
Oh,
female, and some can even give birth.
Androgen insensitivity.
Oh.
Most of them don't have the internal structure for be able to for birth, but some do.
yeah, but Adam would have to have that too. Adam and Eve would both have to have that if Eve was taken from Adam.
Mm.
Not necessarily.
No,
No,
because they would have the same genetic makeup.
I believe there are Swyer's syndrome patients who were identical twins, and one is and one isn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Well, maybe early.
XY determines the pattern for the intended genital structure, but
Mhm.
all the other processes of the chromosomes. I mean, it's not one piece. This is an X and this is a Y. Within those X's and those Y's, there's all sorts of damn chromosomes within there. And sometimes they go right and sometimes they go wrong, but there's still an X and still a Y.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows what goes on? I don't know the syndrome well enough. I think it has to do with this SRY gene and stuff. But it's no matter what's happening with the kid, the cells of that kid's body cannot absorb or respond to testosterone, and so they're Wolferian duct develops a Mullerian duct, and you end up with a female body structure, genital structure, I should say, because body structure shows up with puberty, not with X and Y. So,
yeah, I've actually taken mostly to Dr. Ben's definition of sex being a collective of things. Though when I'm just trying to explain it in a very simplified way, I'll just like what you got between your legs is your sex. What you got between your ears is your gender. So that's the very that's the kid friend. That's the kid talking to a toddler kind of explanation.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get into much more detail. It's more of like a collection of traits and all that.
Yeah, maybe that's a good place to start, though, for people who don't understand the difference.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Guillermo 10 says the version I heard was Adam was originally male and female, and Eve was taken from his female side. And that is consistent with the Bible. It does say male and female, he created them. And so it does sound like Adam was non-binary.
or a chimera, or mosaicist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, the Bible also says, let us make man in our image. So it is definitely saying there were multiple gods having a conference at the time.
Yep.
Well, and also he was planning on having him pick one of the animals too at first before he went on to Eve. So.
Yep.
Yeah. I keep imagining when God presented the porcupine to Adam, and Adam's like, "Are you kidding?"
Well, I heard that the original intent that God had was that that quokkas were going to be the dominant species on Earth, and
What were it going to be?
Quokkas.
What are quokkas?
Oh, what are quokkas? Those are this cute little rodent in Australia.
Oh, okay.
Imagine John Oliver as a furry.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually perfect.
Guillermo says, or God has schizophrenia, which would also explain a lot, like a lot.
I'm going to go get a picture of a quokka and I'll give it to you on Twitter because we can't do that on.
You could put it in your own present or invite, you have a little box down there that says present. You can put it in there if you want.
No, I don't.
You don't?
No, that doesn't work so well on the mobile app.
Oh, okay.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Go ahead. What?
I was going to say, can you put it in the private chat? But if you can just put it on Twitter, that's fine. I'll pick it up there.
Okay.
Quokka, the thing that always looks like it's smiling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, which picture would you like?
Oh, now come on. I'm doing this.
Okay. Oh.
Do.
Yeah, Fred Harvey says the Bible is a fantasy. Fantasy can say anything and doesn't even have to take itself seriously.
You know,
The problem is the Bible is poorly written fantasy.
though it has inspired some good fiction, I'll give it that much.
Yeah, well, I think the problem with the Bible is that Yahweh was such a diva that he couldn't get an editor to work with him.
Okay. I
Okay.
have a picture and I'm, let's see, 2R something. Image file. What's that?
Oh, I'm sorry, that was me.
Okay.
I was taking to my kitties.
Every once in a while,
That's a Z.
Purple does these spiritual incantations. Only his species or her species understands.
Ah, I see.
You know, my cats understand it.
There we
Well,
go.
Yep, there you go.
Aw, they are adorable.
see, I can't see it.
You can't.
No.
That's weird.
Yeah, it is.
What? Wait a minute. Is it only showing? No, okay. It's showing in the YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only Jenny that can't see this for some reason.
I'm sorry.
You do this purposely. That's what you guys do. You plot and plan against me all the time. I just know it. I've read the memos.
Well, it's the comments we're leaving to the StreamYard when we log off to make them follow up the mobile app.
Okay, we are out of time. But before we go, Purple, tell everyone when your stream is.
Yeah, I stream with Mage and Jenny here every Wednesday afternoon at 2 p.m. Central.
Okay. And Mage, you've got a stream coming up. What time is your show?
Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, very good. And Jenny, Mage, and Purple, it is great to have you as always. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Wait a minute. What about my stream?
Okay, when is your stream, Jenny?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have that much control of it anymore now that I'm getting old.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was a good one. Okay. My guest next week is going to be Chris Mallard. At the very beginning, when you saw my video of my speech at Art Protest, if you don't know Chris Mallard, he's the one that introduced me. And he's a very funny man, and I'm very pleased to have him as my guest. So make sure you be here next week to see Chris Mallard. And thank you, everyone. Live your life.